假如书籍会说话，今日对话，燃烧的蜂鸟。
Teacher Hummingbird, you always say that tiny pieces of evidence are like sparks, but can traces that are nearly invisible to the naked eye really unravel major cases?
A burning hummingbird never competes in terms of size. On the battlefield of criminal investigation, the oxidation level of a button's plating can pierce the lie of an alibi. The geological profile of sand grains at the crime scene may point to a body dumped 50 kilometers away. The key lies in whether the observer can trigger a chain reaction of physical evidence.
But in the 1970s, there were no surveillance cameras. So weren't cases solved purely by guesswork based on experience?
This is precisely the paradox of hummingbird thinking. When technology is absent, even the dust at a crime scene speaks volumes. The trajectory of blood spatter is a three-dimensional cipher. The worn cracks at the edges of shoe prints conceal a map of professional identity. The DNA you now rely on is merely an upgraded version of the microscope from years ago.
Does case reconstruction sound too far-fetched? As if it's just a figment of the police's imagination?
True case reconstruction involves breaking down the criminal psychology into crystal fragments, estimating the arsonist's anxiety index by the speed at which matches burn, deducing the killer's obsessive-compulsive personality from the order in which clothes are folded. This is not a rehearsal for a drama, but a topological deduction on the timeline, shackled by constraints.
With fingerprint recognition now done by machine scanning, was there any value in the past practice of manual comparison?
The fingerprint archive is a living dictionary of cryptography. A 45-degree loop pattern meeting 18 bifurcations is the fatal incision. Back then, technicians could decipher occupational wear and tear in 3 millimeters of papillary linen snow. Machines only recognize the ashes left after a hummingbird's combustion.
They always talk about technological progress as a cognitive revolution, but what exactly has forensic science changed?
The fiber analysis of the 1980 dismemberment case unveiled the distribution networks of the planned economy era. The thermodynamic model of the 1983 serial arson cases reshaped the national fuel rationing map. Forensic science has never been about a technological arms race. Each iteration of testing standards has pushed the boundaries of our understanding of human nature.
With the rapid advancement of modern forensic technology, is there any value in studying these old-fashioned methodologies? The true legacy of trace evidence is the mindset of translating physical evidence. While you rely on one-click comparisons in databases, the Hummingbird police are using a mosaic approach to build a logical loop. The three-tiered reasoning steps of criminal profiling, and the reverse chronological sandbox simulations for seeing reconstruction, these are the indelible core codes of investigation. What exactly is the concept of the criminal psychological time slice that you mentioned?
It's like deducing the killer's smoking rhythm from the rigor mortis of a corpse. Identifying the ports where a sailor's served by the way they tie knots. The real crime scene isn't a set of spatial coordinates, but a frozen state of the criminal's thought process. Each piece of evidence is an unwitting snapshot taken by the perpetrator on a time camera.
Young officers always seem to chase after high-tech solutions. Will traditional techniques really never become obsolete?
In 1972, the detection of glass refractive indices prevented a series of bombings. In 1975, a hand-drawn ballistic parabola identified a leak at a military factory in the Third Front region. In a true arsenal of forensic tools, there is no distinction between old and new. It is the fractal iterative capacity of investigative thinking that serves as the perpetual motion machine igniting the wings of a hummingbird.
If you were to summarize the evolution of criminal investigation using the philosophy of the hummingbird?
When the first technician realized that the cross-section of hair could identify geographical origins, humanity broke through the hive maze of visual cognition. The essence of criminal investigation history is the continuous proof that seemingly unrelated dust carries cosmic-level associative codes. Each era should have its own burning coordinate system.
For us, mystery enthusiasts, how can we develop a hummingbird-like observational skill?
First, forget all the tricks and tropes of detective novels. Observe the pathological growth of moss in the cracks of walls. Listen for the dialect codes in the fingerprint archives. Smell the chemical memories in the moldy case files. The truth is never absent. It merely waits, with the frequency of a hummingbird's wings, for the right temperature to ignite.